She was right. Hot sighed, leaning against a closet door. Nothing here. They heard voices outside, and Nicola peered out the window to see three fast-food guards in red uniforms coming down the road, knocking on each house, holding up crude sketches of her and Hot to the occupants. Nicola's finger glowed. "Let's go," she said, mortifying into a sparrow and hopping out of her puddle of clothes towards the door. Hot closed his eyes, fingertip glowing blue, about to morph back into a squirrel and follow Nick out. But then he heard something. A strange sound, coming from the closet in front of him. What a tat-tat. What a tat-tat. Hot opened his eyes. More whistling, more tapping. Against the back of the door. His skin went cold. Leave, his body told him. Leave now. Hot moved towards the closet. "What are you doing?" Nick Sparrow hissed. "They'll catch us." But Hot's hand was already reaching out, his heart vibrating in his chest as his sweaty palm curled around the knob and pulled it open. A single blue butterfly flung out from inside, skeletal, dried up, flying madly around Hot's head with one last rush of life. Then it fell at his feet, dead. Agatha, blood crystal. For a moment, Agatha thought she was on a cloud. She raised her head, her body sprawled on a sea of white pillows across the floor of an elegant chamber. Through a window above her, the blue glow of King Tipia's palace mixed with distant lights of Gromland's metropolis. She didn't know how long she had been asleep, or who had put her in a warm pajamas or in this bed, but she saw now that she hadn't been sleeping alone. There was the imprint of a body in the pillows next to her, a few long blonde hairs sneaking around the silk. Sophie's was folded white lace dress lay dumped in a corner. Suddenly, Agatha remembered everything. She and Sophie in the crystal. Ryan believing Sophie was on his side. Japheth promising his brother he'll find her, and if he found Sophie with Agatha and Tedros, he'll murder all three. That's when Japheth had seen them. Inside the crystal. He and his brother had seen Sophie with Agatha, which could only mean one thing. The snake was coming. Agatha flung out of the bed and found her black dress hanging in the closet, steamed and clean. She could hear voices from another room. Sophie, Tedros, and Reaper were sitting on a blanket, breakfast spread out around them as bleary-eyed glum servants refilled the trays. Almond stuffed croissants, cinnamon toast, grilled cheese and tomato squares, broccoli and egg fruit tartars, buttercream pancakes. Tedros was already on his second plate of food, his hair wet from above. Sophie wore a stylish blue and white dress that seemed oddly familiar, but she wasn't eating, her face tense. His screams will find us, Sophie insisted. It's a matter of time. Beatrix's team is on the lookout in the woods. She, Wina, and Kiko are capable efforts, said Weeper. Plus, we'll know when Gormland's defenses have been breached. A meow squeaked out of him, and he rubbed at his throat. Uma's spell won't last much longer. Once it wears off, I'll no longer be able to speak to you. Ryan still thought I was loyal to him. I had him fooled, said Sophie, giving Tetris a satisfied look. Then her face tightened. He said something about wanting to bring someone back from the dead, someone he and his brother loved. Back from the dead? Tetris said, stunned. Who? Never got the chance to find out, Sophie admitted. We knocked it over a lamp and they saw us. Ryan and Japheth saw me with Agatha. But how? And why was there a scene of Ryan and his brother at all? Tetris pushed it. The crystal only reached the souls of the people inside it, and they weren't inside the ball with us. I had the same question, said Agatha. They turned to her, standing under the archway. Why didn't you wake me up? Agatha directed at Sophie. You looked so peaceful for once, Sophie said, smelling of fresh lavender. Besides, I'm perfectly capable of briefing your cat and your boyfriend without you. You and Sophie emerged from the crystal, barely conscious, just as the ball lost connection. Weeper explained to Agatha. Tetris put you both from the portal, and he and my guards put you in bed. Tried to sleep too, but couldn't really. Not without knowing what you two saw, Tetris said to Agatha, his eye haggard. My mom and the sheriff are sleeping. Been here stuffing my face before Sophie came down. Sophie noticed that Agatha still glaring at her. Like my dress, darling, made it out of the rug in Weeper's toilets after I took a long lavender bath, neither to exchange the scenes of that cursed white frock. Agatha plopped onto the blanket. Schemes are coming for us. Kings are burning their wings. Weeper won't speak much longer. We don't have time to be sleeping or eating pancakes or taking lavender baths. We should be going back into the crystal and looking for answers. Or going back to the castle and killing Ryan while he's done, Tetris intoned, swiping another pancake. The castle is surrounded by guards and the crystal needs more time to recharge, as I learned firsthand with Clarissa. Weeper rebuffed.